Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Nathan Daley. I am your law enforcement translator. Now listen you guys, I'm gonna dive right into this video because there has been a lot of conversation going on in the comment section in reference to the Ahmaud Arbery case. Now listen, there's a little bit of confusion. I'm gonna provide some clarity, okay? There's a couple things going on that people are a little bit confused about, right? Let's talk about from the very beginning. You guys listen. This is a case of murder, okay? A wrongfully accused person was murdered by a group of people who thought they were doing something justly, but they're operating completely out of their authority, right? They weren't authorized to do what they did. This is what it's all about. This is the whole premise of this problem with the Ahmaud Arbery case. We had a group of vigilantes who went too far, and they were operating off of poor information and inaccurate evidence. I'll say, or no evidence, right? This is the issue. A lot of people are arguing about what people's rights are. You have a right to have a gun. You have a right to defend yourself. You have a right to do a citizen's arrest. Yes, you do have the right to do all those things, but you also have a responsibility to understand how it works, right? Having your right to carry a gun does not give you the right to just use it because you feel like or you think that you know what you're doing. The problem is, especially in this country, we have all too often people who are misinformed, misguided, and lack emotional discipline. That is the key to this whole thing. No discipline. Yes, you have a right to carry a gun. I tell everybody they should get a gun. Get your license, get a gun. Yes, carry one. But you need to understand your rights, and you need to know and understand the rights of the people, right? Because you just can't infringe on someone's rights because you think you know what you're doing or you think a person did something. I will show you what it looks like when a person is doing a citizen's arrest and how it really applies, okay? It's not about I think, it's not about I had a thought or I'm assuming. You better know before you decide you want to infringe on another person's rights, okay? So, and if you don't get it right, you'll end up in jail, you'll end up in prison. In worst case scenario, you're talking life or the death penalty for taking another person's life. So here's the thing. For all my people in the comment section that love their guns, I get it, you have a right. It's no different than freedom of speech. You have the right to say what you want to say. But if you say the wrong thing, it doesn't mean there's not consequences for that, right? So let's not forget, you have a right to bear arms. You have a right to carry. But if you step outside of those rights, then you can find yourself in a lot of trouble. So now let's look at the second part of this Ahmaud Arbery situation. It's the corruption, right? It is the corruption. You guys are missing the whole point of this, right? You have people who unlawfully killed another person and they almost got away with it. I think that's the piece that I'm not really seeing a lot of people understanding. In the comment section, you guys, listen. There's a reason why the former district attorney, Jackie Johnson, was indicted for obstruction and violation of oath of office. What did she do? According to the affidavit, former DA Jackie Johnson obstructed Glenn County Police Department from actually arresting the McMichaels. Now, why is that a problem? It's a problem because Gregory McMichael used to work for her in the DA's office. Right? So is there a coincidence there? His son, William Roddy, free as a bird for 2 months. 2 months. It wasn't until after the video was leaked of the shooting that it really kind of sparked up more interest, and a lot of people got behind it saying, hey, hold on, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look right at all, right? So now the GBI gets involved. Thank God for the GBI. These guys are talented. Within 3 days, they wrapped the whole case up. They wrapped the entire case up in 3 days. And what do they find out in the investigation? They find out that even the Glenn County commissioners, 2 of them, stated that this particular case with Ahmaud Arbery was brought to the DA's office, and the DA's office told them not to make an arrest. They were looking to arrest Travis and Gregory McMichael. and they were told not to, which is odd. Even Jackie Johnson stated that that wasn't true. Now, which is also very suspicious, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because as a police department, police officers, we don't get confirmation to make an arrest from the DA's office. The DA's office is not responsible for arresting anybody. They don't even have arrest powers. The DA's office is not there to make arrests, right? The police department is. Now, I don't know what's going on with that, but mind you, she was arrested, okay? She was indicted, and on those charges of obstruction. So apparently there's something bigger going on, but I tell you this, they're not gonna indict her and arrest her on these charges if they didn't have very strong evidence to suggest that she actually had a role in this and that she actually played a part in why the McMichaels did not get arrested that day, right? So now, lastly, now that we clarified that, just to be clear, what does that actually mean? For those who want to bring race into the argument, that's fine, we can talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. Here's the issue, right? If the Glenn County Police Department, the initial investigating officers are white, they came to the conclusion that the McMichaels were guilty. Now, when it comes to the murder investigation, I didn't care too much for how comfortable and casual they were around two murder suspects, right? So that with being said, they did everything outside of brought them a ultimate feast from Red Lobster, right? And you guys saw that, and a lot of you guys are commenting about that, how they were just too friendly and, oh, let me wash your back. Oh, please, don't mind us. Take your clothes, wash your clothes and bring it back to us. Let's get this blood off of you, and oh, let me put the Band-Aid on your head and all these kind of things. And like, listen, you guys, as officers, as you know, this is a murder scene. These guys are a walking ball of evidence, from the blood on the boot to the blood on the hand, the arm, the hair follicles. You are a piece of evidence. And the more you move around here, move around there, the more you do that, more drinking water, wiping your face, all that, you're destroying evidence, right? And to be completely honest, you guys, they should have been detained, separated, and investigated properly, evidence secured and things like that. I mean, it was ridiculous. So that's not how it's supposed to be done, you guys, just FYI. At least that's not how I was taught. Now let's look into the affidavits, the warrants, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from a few people who are challenging me on the idea of murder and the intent of murder and how the charges actually come together. Let's look at an affidavit from Gregory McMichael so you guys can actually see what it actually looks like on a warrant, an affidavit that the judge signs, an affidavit where the investigator puts in the probable cause, the description, and what elements fit this particular crime. All right, so let's take a look. Now, the crime that's committed here that's talked about is Gregory McMichael as a party to aggravated assault, right? This is aggravated assault that was done on Ahmaud Arbery. This is the violation. It states the accused aided and abetted Travis McMichael when he pointed and discharged a shotgun, which is a deadly weapon capable of causing death or serious bodily injury. Now, remember my previous video when we talked about party to a crime, how party to a crime is used to connect a person to an offense that they themselves necessarily did not actually commit on the actual victim, right? They're a party to it, okay? So in this charge, you see plainly on this affidavit, party to a crime of aggravated assault. Now, this is very unique. Why? Because a lot of people would say, well, oh, how'd they use this? How'd they use that? Listen, what goes on behind the scenes in the DA's office or when officers are putting their charges together, some of the charges don't necessarily look the way you think they would look on a document. And this is what I was trying to explain one of the subscribers, right? So it's one thing to read the law and it's another thing to actually apply it to a particular situation and understanding how laws combine to form one law. So it's written as one, but as you see on the title, it says party to a crime of aggravated assault. Now let's take a look at another example. Now this one is party to the crime of felony murder. Now mind you, the code section 1651. This is what it states. The accused aided and abetted Travis McMichael when he caused the death of another, Ahmaud Arbery, during the commission of a felony, to wit, aggravated assault in violation of Official Code of Georgia annotated 16521. This is what I was referring to about party to a crime in the previous video, right? Gregory McMichael never shot Ahmaud Arbery, right? But he aided and he abetted Travis McMichael, right? And through his assistance, Ahmaud Arbery died, right? And he's being charged. That charge is falling on him as well under the statute of party to a crime, though he didn't physically do it. This is why you can have a situation, again, like I described, where you could have multiple offenders. One person is the shooter, but because they were all present and participating in a form or fashion, they are all equally charged. Now lastly, let's look at another one. Let's look at Travis McMichael's affidavit. And this one is going to be for murder. Now let's look how this one reads versus the one with party to a crime. Travis McMichael, his charge is felony murder 165-1. The accused did cause the death of another, Ahmaud Arbery, during the commission of a felony, to wit, aggravated assault violation of Official Code annotated. Now, what does that mean? Ahmaud Arbery died while Travis McMichael was committing a crime before his death. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. There was no self-defense on the McMichaels. They had already committed a crime against Ahmaud Arbery before the death, right? It's a crime for false imprisonment. They chased him down. They prevented his movements, you guys. They were already in violation of a crime before he even died. There is no self-defense for the McMichaels, right? There's no self-defense for them. And then on top of that, he pointed the weapon at Ahmaud, right? You got out the car, you approached them, you pointed the weapon. You were already in violation. So this is a counter argument to people who are saying, oh, he had a right to carry a gun. Yes, this isn't about your rights to carry a gun. This is about your inability to use good judgment and use common sense when you have a gun. This is about gun discipline. This is not about your rights as an individual to carry a gun. Those are two totally different conversations, and a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot, there are people in the comment section who are failing to understand these 2 points. Gun rights versus gun responsibilities. Two totally different things. Now lastly, let's look at one of the affidavits for William Roddy Bryant. I think you guys will find this interesting. Now this is William Bryant. Criminal attempt, you guys. This is an attempt to commit false imprisonment. This is an attempt charge. The accused did attempt to confine and detain Ahmaud Arbery without what? Legal authority. And by attempting to confine Arbery, utilizing his vehicle on multiple occasions during the above time frame with the intentions of confining the detained Arbery. This is what I'm talking about, you guys. Criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. This is William Roddy Bryant now, the one who has the least amount of exposure. His involvement is an attempt. And what did it say in that description that you see in the box? That is where you put what we call our probable cause. And what did it say? Without the authority, okay? And so for those bringing race into this conversation, listen, these were white men. These are white investigators who came to this conclusion, okay? This is the law, you guys. This is the law. This is what the law states, okay? Violation without the authority, illegally try to confine and imprison someone. You didn't have a right to do so. So do you not think that the investigators in all their infinite wisdom did not look at the evidence or the accusations that were made against Ahmaud and double check make phone calls and ask questions? Of course they did. Of course they did. Okay? So that's the clarification. That's what the actual affidavits for the warrants look like. This is what was given to a judge that the judge signed off on. Listen, it doesn't look good for the McMichaels. It doesn't look good for Brian. But again, I think he got a little wiggle room. I know some people say ain't no wiggling going on. Maybe, maybe not, you guys. So I hope that clarifies some things just a little bit further. I know we went into a little deeper than what I did before. Listen, I've done this for 13 years, okay? So I understand what goes on behind the scenes. I understand what the DA is looking at, and I understand how officers think when they arrive on scenes involving situations like this. And I also can identify when things are not been done correctly and when things are out of order. And this case screams corruption from top to bottom. This is why I'm so passionate about this case, because from a personal level, I also have an issue with what was done. And then from a professional level, I have an issue with what was done. Why? Because corruption is involved, okay? Corruption is a problem. It's not okay, period. Police advocate all day long, but when you're wrong, you're wrong, okay? I'm an advocate for the Black community all day long, but when you're wrong, you're wrong. All right, and that's just what it is. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, you guys. I'm really enjoying the conversations that are taking place. The engagement is awesome. So hey, again, feel free to ask me anything. I'm an open book. Also, our numbers are going up. I'm so excited, so grateful. Thank you to my new subscribers. I hope that you're finding the content valuable, and I'm looking forward to you guys sticking with me on this journey. Our goal is to 1,000 and beyond. And then after that, we will be live streaming. I'll be calling you guys on. We can have one-on-one discussions about real events, real topics. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. It'd be a lot easier to have discussions through live versus through the comment section. So anyways, you guys, keep up the good work. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. All right, with that, good night and God bless.